We have a voicemail line. There's a link in the description. If you're on the Apple or Spotify, on the podcasting notes, you click that link. You do not need a phone number. You just put your name in there. You get a 90-second call. Put whatever you want in there. You can call about anything. You agree with us. You disagree with us. Feel free to exercise your right to the voicemail. Speaking of which, let's get to some voicemails.
Hey guys, Quentin calling in from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, Quinn.
Really just wanted to leave you guys a little bit of a shout out and let you know that you're killing it. I love your stuff. Both of you guys, first of all, you have an awesome voice for radio. You guys are great storytellers. You bring obviously a player's aspect into it and make it really fun to listen to you guys. At first, you guys were pushed on me on Instagram several times, just kind of hating on Chiclets. And I kind of thought you guys sucked for a little while, but then I started listening to some of your content and just a really well-run show. And I'll give you a special shout out for taking some hard positions on a number of things in the game and outside of the game in politics that is certainly not very popular. But it brings a lot of common sense, which is something that people are lacking. And I think it's super entertaining, very insightful. Keep bringing those hard takes. And shout out to you guys, man. You guys are awesome.
Hey, moral of the story, if you're tired of other podcasts selling your kids booze and propaganda, we're the show for you. Well, didn't you say it a while ago? We are a common sense podcast.
Did I ever tell you that the Carolinas are very, very, very high on my bucket list of places to go? I want to do South Carolina for their golf. North Carolina, I want to go see a Tar Heels game. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan's from that area. Charlotte, I was a huge Hornets fan back in the Larry Johnson days. Alonzo Mourning, Muggsy Bogues. Actually got a chance to meet Muggsy Bogues once upon a time. I would love to go check out Charlotte.
If I could rub it in for a quick second, when I got traded one of the 33 times, I drove right through the Carolinas. Beautiful.
Oh.
Very beautiful. Actually, I remember I left upstate New York. It was freezing. It was like -6. I got to the Carolinas. It was like +15. It was fantastic.
I would love to go play Myrtle Beach.
I miss getting traded every single week. I miss that a lot, actually. Those are good times.
Just wanted to take a second to think. I think you guys were spot on the Wayne Gretzky stuff. People seem to have forgotten what he's done for Canada as far as the hockey level and bringing awareness to the country and the importance of the game. So I do think calling him a traitor is a little short-sighted. Mm-hmm. I'm also willing to put some blame on Paulina's husband, Dustin Johnson, who definitely is a maggot, spelt M-A-G-A-T. And I just feel like he's supporting his daughter with her husband and got dragged into a bad position he probably regrets.
What's the T stand for?
Look, I find it very interesting that in the whole idea of being accepting of people's views in general, that the second you find out somebody votes a certain way, if you're going to write off anything they've ever done or ever said, I think it's very dangerous.
Well, is that not further proof that when the greatest hockey player to ever put on skates is a "what have you done for me lately"? What chance do I have? What have you done for me lately?
Right.
Hey Trav, it's Adam McConnell, formerly known as Dirty Hockey on Instagram and YouTube.
Hey Adam.
Keep up the great work on the podcast, man. The conversations are always really solid. I've been a subscriber on YouTube since your junior B days here in Canada. Wow. So
thank you, my friend.
Keep up the great work, man. Aside from that, I just wanted to thank you for shedding light and speaking truth to the Freedom Convoy there in your last podcast. As somebody who lost their livelihood and was made into a second-class citizen and was there in Ottawa to experience and be a part of everything, I really appreciate you using your voice and your platform to talk about it. Obviously, a very dark time for our country and me personally and my family and friends that didn't follow the trend. So very important that there's people like you that aren't afraid to talk about it, and I really appreciate you shedding light on it, man. So thanks so much. Keep up the great work, and hopefully we have the opportunity to talk about this type of stuff in person someday. Would love to do it. Thanks, brother. Cheers.
As they say on the Quebecois license plate, je me souviens.
What does that mean?
I'll never forget.
You know what? Can I address that real quick, that one call?
Go for it.
Seriously, though, if it wasn't for the heroes that stood up for the Freedom Convoy in 2022, honestly, we'd probably still be 6 feet apart wearing face diapers under our dictator. And honest to God, again, thank you to the big orange man for fighting our dictatorship government here in Canada, because nobody else in this country will. Like, people thinking that, oh, you know what? I couldn't stand up to my own dictator government during the scamdemic of 2020, and I was calling the snitch line on Trav when he was having a barbecue with his family over on Christmas Day. But yeah, I'm going to stand up to the big orange man now. Dude, that's one of the things why our show is so great. We're not held up by any corporations. Anything goes. Talk about anything. Call the voicemail if you want us to talk about it. Also, where's all the hate calls today? We don't have any hate calls yet.
Stand by. They're coming.
Hey guys, it's Jack calling in here from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, there we
Trav,
go.
I got a question for you. Why haven't you signed with the Danbury Hat-Tricks in the FPHL? I know you've talked about how the FPHL hasn't really panned out for you.
Mm-hmm.
However, I know that you have sort of built a relationship with AJ Galante, the vice president of the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and you were on his podcast not too long ago, and you guys seem to really hit it off. So my question is, why haven't you guys worked on a contract so you could play for them and come back in the FPHL? Because, man, I think I speak on behalf of a lot of the listeners. We would love to see you back in the FPHL, especially playing for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. I think that would be really sweet. So, yeah, that's my question is, why haven't, you being close with AJ Galante and him being the vice president, why haven't you been signed to a contract for the Danbury Hat-Tricks?
Hey, man, listen, nobody wanted to play for the Danbury Hat-Tricks this season more than myself. And you know how I am. I'm loyal. AJ opened up his home to me, greeted me, gave me the red carpet when I came to Danbury. I think it was in September, might have been August. So you're never going to hear me say a negative thing about him outside of the fact, AJ, where is your podcast, dude? I don't have anything to listen to during the week now. Where is your podcast? You got to start it up again. But as far as why am I not in the FPHL, you know what? I don't know if we actually talked about this, man. I've just come to terms with the fact that it's over. That's it. I'm not going to play in the FPHL again. Where there is money, corruption follows not too far along. And when you have the guy that we talked about last week, the biggest scumbag of ownership in all of professional sports, that is sandbagging guys for $8,000 dental bills, breaking their jaws, blocking shots for your team, or you're banning your captain for life and sending his family home who's done nothing but good things to your team, or the guy who's been fighting for your team the last 3 years, he gets robbed, held up at gunpoint, everything's stolen, says, hey, can you help spot me some gear? Doesn't have to be nice. Just say, oh, sorry, you can go afford it yourself. I know I only pay you like $75 a week. This is the way that the league works. This is how minor pro sports works. If AJ Galante called me and said, come down to the Danbury Hat-Tricks tomorrow, let's talk some logistics, I'd love to play for the guy because I actually respect him. He's one of the few guys in the FPHL that I do respect. However, that is a question that you'd have to ask him why I'm not in Danbury. Because I don't want to speak on his behalf and put words in his mouth. But he's a great guy. I'm very loyal to him because he's been great to me. But you'd have to ask him for that answer.
Hey, what is up? Trav and Wheeler calling
Hello.
here from Detroit, Michigan. And this one's for Wheels. Wheels, man, I'm a big fan of yours. I like you a lot, dude. You always have really great, insightful knowledge to tell us. And
Great suits
I'm just
too.
so happy that you and Trav have been doing this podcast for quite some time and going strong. I'm really a big fan of yours. You're a really good compliment to Trav and vice versa. However, that being said, I only have one bone to pick with you, and it's just a little one. I've noticed that you're very repetitious and obsessive with using the line "once upon a time." I've actually noticed that every single podcast, you at least say it at least 2 to 3 times per podcast. And that's my really only bone to pick with you is you have an obsession of saying it. So my challenge is, can you go one whole podcast without saying the line once upon a time?
I don't think you
And
said
if you
today.
can, I'll be extremely surprised. All right, you guys have a good one.
Okay, I'll keep this short. Thank you for pointing that out. It's been a long time since I've had a program director air check me. And that is what is traditionally in my industry called a crutch. I think the actual line of once upon a time probably comes with my age and wisdom, because when I tell a story, it means it was from a long time ago, and I'm giving myself time to recount that portion of the Rolodex of my brain. So challenge accepted. I will do my best to try and stay away from saying once upon a time. But also, every great story starts with once upon a time.
Rising tide raises all ships.
There you go.
Thanks for the call.
What's up, Trav? What's up, Dave?
Hey.
Love the show.
Love you too.
Had 2 thoughts for the show. One, I had a question for Trav. So I got about 30,000 followers on Instagram.
Nice.
You know, I post my workouts and I train other athletes, and I'm an athlete myself. I'm trying to get, sponsorships with different companies. I just wondered if you had any advice for me moving forward. And then second kind of thing is, I feel like Trav gets a lot of hate, from a lot of people about, him playing pro hockey and he wasn't a great goalie. But all I have to say is I think, I've seen the videos. I think he's a great goalie. I think a lot of hard work goes into it that people don't see behind the scenes. I've been behind the grind, and, I'm still grinding. I'm trying to make the CFL. It's my big goal. And,
Wow.
so many people love to hate.
Good goal.
And I don't really get it.
Well, let's call it for what it is. When you're tall, sexy, and humble, people are going to get upset. As far as the sponsorships go,
Yeah.
you got to rewind. Okay, so Why do you want the sponsorships? Is it because you want money? Well, what is money? Money is a store of value. So if you provide value, you get money for the value you produce. So if you can provide value to a company, they will pay you, which is why we've been able to stay afloat and having sponsors for however long. So if, let's say, like you're trying to go to your CFL goal, which also that's a fantastic goal. It's amazing.
Focus on that.
Keep going towards that. But I'm assuming you're a football player, I would assume. If you're a football player, okay, well, then maybe you need some protein. So, okay, well, maybe I'll go to a protein company and say, I will work with you. I'll start with an affiliate deal, and then I'll show that I can move units for you, and then you got to start paying up. And if you don't pay up, then I'll use those stats to go to another company and try to get paid. That would be my recommendation.
Well, guys, thank you for playing my voicemail about Dave's hat and suit combination. Thank you for the answer on that. It definitely does look like you got that at the thrift shop.
Sure
so
did.
that makes a lot of sense.
Proud thrifter.
I got the same jacket too.
Man, you guys run an interesting program here. I love the fact that you bring up anything and everything's fair game. I love that, and that even when people disagree with you, you generally are okay with it. Even though you can get a little insulting by the people that you disagree with, but that's okay.
People that are ugly.
But hearing support for the Freedom Convoy, or I guess complete support, definitely agree with some of the ideals, and the things that happened to the truckers weren't fair. I'm with you there. But the convoy itself did get funded by some pretty divisive far-right groups, and it ended up getting spun into something a lot more negative and a lot things that were made this country look bad. And I guess maybe you guys just brushed over that or don't remember that there were swastikas and things like that. And, a couple bad apples do spoil the bunch, in my opinion. So I just wanted to put that out there. Again, love what you guys are doing. Love that you guys talk about everything and everything. It's just sometimes it's clear why jocks shouldn't maybe have free reign and a microphone.
Okay, now you're probably going to disagree with me on this one. It all depends on which media source you followed. Now, from what I understood is that, and I'm going back into the Rolodex here. From what I remember, that gentleman that you're talking about who was waving the swastika at the Freedom Convoy in front of the Canadian Parliament, he was doing it to say, this is what you guys are acting like. Might as well wave it in front of the Parliament building because this is how you're acting. It wasn't necessarily hooray for Nazis. Now, feel free to disagree with me on that. Maybe you got different information than I do. That's how it was presented to me. So listen, anytime I see that, I think it's disgusting. I hate it. I think he could have gotten his point across better than that, because you're right. It did spoil it, and it allowed the media to spin it in a situation where they're like, look, Nazis are there. Everything's bad. They're all bad. So in that way, yes, it absolutely gave the media an opportunity to spin it in that direction. Is that fair?
That's fair. Okay. If I could add to that, to anybody that listens to what we talk about and completely disagrees, when you watch the media, open your eyes. It might be the first time you ever use them. You're like, Travis, this burns, because you've used them for the first time. And ask yourself the question, why are they telling me this? Why do they want me to believe this? How do they benefit if I believe this? Does this benefit me? If you're screaming Orange Man bad, we are not the show for you.
What's up, Dave? What's up, Trav?
Hey.
I just had to redo this because I sound like a little girl on it. Jesus.
He's honest.
Just wondering if you've ever thought about playing in the ECHL.
I've thought about it.
I don't know if that's
not realistic.
I know the Kalamazoo K-Wings, that's my team. Wondering if you'd ever figure about going down there, seeing what you can do in the ECHL.
Well, first off, Kalamazoo, Michigan has more puck bunnies per capita than any other ECHL franchise. That is a known fact. Number two,
who wouldn't want to play at the coast?
You got to get like weekly STD checks. That'd be kind of tough.
Easy now. That's on you. That's not on the league.
Yeah, that's true. That's not a part of the insurance policy. Have I thought about playing the ECHL? Yeah. Can I? No. Sorry, it's realistic.
Yep. Retired.
Hey, Trav, what are your thoughts about Sense Arena?
Sense Arena is great. If you have all the access to ice time in the world, no need for it. If you have no ice time, it's the next best thing. And if you want it, I have a promo code in the video that I made. So check out Sense Arena Review on my main channel. You find that, you get a nice little discount code on that too.
Hey Travis, it's Evan, and I'm a goalie as well. And I am currently in my last year of U18 hockey, and I currently play for the St. Anne Aces U18 team. And this upcoming weekend, we have provincials, and then our season's basically done. And Yeah, I've been having some groin issues this season because last season it kept happening at the end of the season, and then I left it in the summer to see if it was just a groin strain and it would hopefully heal. But I got on the ice in September and then everything's started pulling apart again, and so I've been playing with this injury all season long, trying to maintain. Next season, I'm going to be moving into junior hockey, and I'm wondering, or I'm just curious, what was your experience like?
Get your groin taken care of.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds a lot like the Corey Schneider talk that we had over the summer. I don't know if that's a groin issue, dude. I would go and get checked for the cam hip impingement because so many groin issues are disguised as that. And let me tell you, as somebody who struggled with those issues for what felt like an eternity, you'd be amazed how much that cam hip is actually affecting the groin. You could do all the rolling, all the stretching, everything in the world. It's not going to fix it. So get that checked out, dude.
Go ask mom and dad if you're covered to go get an MRI done on your hips.
No, he's Canadian. He said provincial. Yeah, it's totally covered.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, right. Sorry.
It's like the only good thing about our
go
free
get it done
healthcare
then.
here.
Yes. Go get that done.
As far as junior goes, provide value, man. Stop pucks. Be confident. Provide value to your team. That's my advice.
Are they live right now? Hey, Trav. I just want to let you know that Winnipeg does have an airport, and if you opened your Google Maps, you stupid, and just looked around, it's called Richardson Airport. And yeah, keep the podcast, man. It's really good. Your takes are extremely good. Yeah, Dylan Sandberg, yeah, his wife's abusing him. Good take, man. He's definitely going to get traded. You're doing a good job, man. Keep it up.
What was that about the airport?
I think it was his mom in the background. He must be using his mom's Wi-Fi. I don't think I made any comments with the airport, did I?
I don't know.
It's always been the James Richardson International Airport. I'm a freaking flyer there. I go there all the time. I got lounge access. Maple Leaf Lounge is great. Gate 11.
We got numerous airports. We got the St. Andrews Airport. We've got 17 Wing.
When I do the intro and I say that we're by the Winnipeg Airport, because we are by the Winnipeg Airport.
Yeah.
Like the studio itself is what? Like a stone's throw away from the Winnipeg Airport?
10-minute drive.
I got planes going right over top of the studio right now. You just can't hear it because of the soundproofing. Also, people were asking too, is this an interrogation room? Yes, this used to be an interrogation room. We put soundproofing up on the walls and we took it over because it was like half price. I said, we'll give you 50% off.
That's what we do here. We interrogate. We get to the bottom of things.
Been listening to the podcast here for the last 2 years. This is Devin from Pennsylvania. Just wanted to ask you guys what you think of the AHL, ECHL minor league landscape with some of these teams going over to family-friendly style marketing versus actually just marketing the sport as a whole. Let me know what you think.
Okay, well, Devin, I'll ask you. Did you not get excited when the Manitoba Moose of the American Hockey League did Star Wars night? Because I did. Love that. Guess whose kids wanted to go to the game? Mine. Love it.
I love when they did that 10:30 a.m. game. That was great. They brought all the kids and the school buses dropping off kids.
Absolutely.
That's great. Forget about the Pride nights. Let's get some 10:30 a.m. games. That's how you grow hockey right there. Also, I love how he's like, it's Devin from Pennsylvania. Like when Gene Simmons leaves a voicemail, hey, Gene Simmons.
Hey, it's Gene Simmons from Kiss.
There's another Gene Simmons calling me.
Hey,
if you enjoy what you just saw, we do new clips every single day, twice a day on the Clips channel. You see clips right here. And beside Dave's crotch, we have a full-length show every single Sunday, right by my hand.
Click right here.